Hi, Jennifer Brown, Digital Soldier, reporting to you live from Las Vegas. I wanted to go over something today that I just experienced. I was talking about the Great Awakening and how we may be having the 10 days of darkness, and was explaining that some of that is about using Executive Order 10995 to take over all FCC airwaves of internet, press, radio, film, and television, and by which that we control the programming of television, and we come out with 8 hours of documentaries, testimonials from military tribunals of the crimes committed against children, as far as satanic ritual abuse, and human trafficking and things of that nature. And I was telling the bus driver about this, and he goes, "Oh, I don't want to hear about that. That's not me. Just, don't care. It's not my concern. It really has nothing to do with me." And I said, well, it should concern everyone. I said, because this is part of the COINTELPRO character assassination that they're throwing down on the President of the United States, because all these people in media are on contract, pay-to-play contract, to cover up the crimes against humanity. He goes, well, yeah, but at the end of the day, it's just really not I just want to be happy. I don't want to get involved in any of that. It's not my concern. And so then I said, well, it's gotten really bad here in America. I don't know if you know, but our military has even had to, go down below in the bunker systems internationally and nationally, fighting a war to save the human race. And I said, and the reason that is because some of these people will do anything and everything they can to cover up these crimes against humanity. I said, I'm a victim of human trafficking. I'm an adult, but the adults who are hit with electromagnetic frequency radiation, much as what the U.S. Embassy people went through in China and Cuba, that is considered now, and has been all along, human trafficking. And I said, and we were just the beta test. And he goes, well, I really don't believe in, all that, so, no. And I said, if I'm the beta test and the rest of the world is supposed to be next, don't you see that there's a problem there? Yeah, but that doesn't concern me. As long as I get my paycheck, he literally said this, as long as I get my paycheck and I can continue to work, I'm good. I says, well, what happens when it gets so bad, with tyrannical dealings, and you have paramilitary movements come in that are also hired to protect the crimes against humanity that are being done on both groups, adults and children, and yet they want to reformulate and be used to, like an American brown shirt Gestapo program, to take over the police. Do you see the involvement here and how it is, this whole thing has infiltrated our system and providing cover up and for crimes against humanity? Do you understand that? I was like, yeah, but I, at the same time, I don't believe in conspiracy theories. I said, well, that was the whole point of the Executive Order 10995, which was, it controls all FCC modes of communication. The internet, the press, radio, print, film meaning television. And we were going to do 8-hour blocks of information with the testimonials of the military tribunals of these people who've committed these crimes. And he says, well, back to what you were saying about, us being in such dire straits that we could end up being killed. He says, if it's my time to go, then it's my time to go. I'll go meet Jesus. Let me explain something to all Christians right now. I want to make sure I'm crystal clear on this. You're not going to heaven if you can't protect the most vulnerable, the children. When you get to the pearly white gates, and this conversation is rewound, and for that gentleman, and he finds out how that person reacted, he's like, you show no concern, no compassion, no unconditional love, no love whatsoever. It was all about you, me, I, and these illusions of grandeur and this egotistical crap. And you were just willing to sit back and let everybody else do all the work for you, but yet you were not willing to defend the defenseless. And you want to come through the pearly white gates? I don't think so. We're going to kick you back. You got some stuff to learn. It's wonderful that people believe in Jesus so much that they feel that they're such Christians that they're going to go to heaven to the pearly white gates. But let me tell you something right now. If you think that you sitting on the sidelines and doing nothing and not getting out any information on social media about what's happening to the kids and not getting involved and helping expose what's happening to the kids, God's going to be judging you on that shit. Irregardless of what you think. How you just got your ticket and you got carte blanche. It don't work that way, guys. You can go to church every day, thump the Bible every day, read a passage 20 times, 40, 80 times a day in God's honor. But if you don't do your physical legwork, your Christian legwork, dude, it's not going to happen. And that legwork is you are responsible. You do not have a right as a patriot of the United States or any city or any state just to, let people die in your communities. Did you know that former CIA Robert David Steele said that every governor knew about the human trafficking going on in their states and who was behind it? You know how many people died because of that? And were killed and tortured and raped and deskinned from the forehead down to below the chin so they could get their androchrome. It's a chemical that's produced when a child is traumatically tortured while they're still alive. And they found out, the world elite in Hollywood, including Hillary and Ahmadine, they learned that if they deskin the child from the forehead down to just below the skin, below the chin rather, that they'll create this antidote. Oh, by the way, I will have you know that Hillary and Ahmadine did this, and they gutted the 6-year-old afterwards. Now, I understand this is none of your concern. And I understand this is none of your business. And I understand it doesn't affect your daily life. But when you got politicians doing shit like that, it should be everybody's concern. So don't you think it's time to get up off your butt and learn what the hell's going on? And start being productive in society instead of being a leech? It's the rent that you pay to be on this planet. As far as I'm concerned, they should make it a mandate in grade school, high school, college, everywhere else, that every so often you have to take your oath of office. Not that you are in office, but I'm talking about to defend against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That's your citizen duty. Do you understand that? Do you get what the hell I'm telling you? You don't just get to come here and be entertained 24/7 and drive your cars, your nice little hot rods, and brag about it and trying to keep up with the Joneses and show off your little house, your big home with the pool and the kitchen, the full bar in the back and all that, and the outdoor on the patio. It's not about that, guys. For all of you that think it's just about that, you are sadly mistaken. If you're not willing to protect the children, then you are enemy of the people. Period. End of story. You need to get up off your butts. Well, what can I do? You need to get up off your butts and go to every social media platform that you can find and talk about what's going on with the kids. Educate yourself. Yeah, media said it's not true. So you believe everything the media says? When you know that they work for the CIA, and you know that the CIA wanted you dead fucking 20 years ago, while you still here, bitch? I mean, what the shit are you smoking? We are in such dire time. We are in a crisis like Germany was, like with the Jews. Did you know that we had a 45-year-old Gestapo program in the United States? Didn't know about that one either, did you? Still operational. It's a paramilitary group that's hired to stalk and harass innocent citizens who are on a list. I'm one of them. I'm an 8-year survivor, being hit with directed energy weapons. And you can look your head and look the other way, turn your head and look the other way as long as you want. But it's at your doorstep. It's not going to change. It's not going to make it any better for you, ignoring the truth. Mainstream media is only goal is to use COINTELPRO to assassinate this this president, and by any means possible. Because the elite are in trouble. They're going to hang from a rope. Politicians, stars, anchormen. You guys have no clue who's involved in this shit. You think just because they have a Coke and a smile, Coke in their hand, a smile on their face, and they dressed up in an executive suit or a $300 all accessorized jewelry and earrings and have a wonderful look to them and are model like that, these people would never lie to you. They've been lying to you for 45 years. What planet are you from? Better catch up, because right now as it stands, we're doing everything that we can to stop this murder charade from happening to all of us around the globe. A group that's getting the information out there is Q. You'll be very shocked to know who is behind Q. He's getting ready to make a reveal, I believe, this month. Comes from a very famous family, folks. But he follows and works with 8 apparatuses of the intelligence apparatus above CIA, above NSA, above FBI. They are very, very well connected to the military and the operations that I just told you about that are going on below, as well as operations that are saving the children. So if you think that this group is conspiracy and not connected, you better think again. You better think again. So go to qmap.pub. Again, qmap.pub. You will find all the indictments there. You will find all the resignations there. And you will find out who's been involved in human trafficking, satanic ritual abuse, and whatnot. Or if they're considered a bought out, paid for, covering up for the crimes against humanity or not. Because the bottom line is this. You remember when it was made that you're either with us or you're against us. Okay? Well, this is one of those moments. Either you're with protecting the children and the infants that are being tortured and maimed. Yeah, I mean, let me give you an idea of what we're talking about here. You remember the movie Saw? Raise your hand if anybody's ever heard about the movie Saw. It's a horror movie. Remember how they used all those tools and did all those tortures? This is what's happening to the kids. Anything that you see in that movie is basically happening to the kids. That's how bad it is. From infants, especially infants. As Robert David Steele said, thousands upon thousands of them when they die, they're loaded up on 18-wheelers and they haul them off to New York to be burnt up in the incinerators. Yeah. So don't think you're going to be able to turn your head and go, I don't want to talk about that. And hold your hand out. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to hear that. You're going to be hearing it. Every one of you that thinks that way, you're going to get the exact opposite of what you want. Because this is God's design, not yours. This is not the world is not your oyster. It's God's oyster. And God will make sure that every single person on this planet, no matter what line you're in, no matter what store you go to, no matter what work you go to, college, no matter what synagogue, church, no matter where you are, you're going to be constantly reminded what is happening to the kids and how it's affecting our freedom and how it's affecting our sovereignty. You're going to learn. And for those of you who go, oh, it's not my problem, I don't care, then you are considered the enemy. Because how dare you? What are you, defending them? Are you going to defend the deep state and what they're doing to the kids? Or are you going to go, oh, hell no, don't you ever do that to my kids? Because the kids of the United States and the kids of this world, that you are responsible. We're all brothers and sisters here. And don't worry, because if you think you're going to hide under secrecy and monolithic oaths, all this, you think that's going to continue, you're sadly mistaken. The days of wine and roses are over. You will learn, because you are responsible. Let me repeat that again. You are responsible. One more time, let's take it back to church. You are responsible, and you will be held accountable, either by God and or remorse and or feelings of guilt. You either shape up and start stepping up for these kids, or you will pay the consequences. God's wrath is very strong, my dear. Trust and believe that. Jennifer Brown, live from Las Vegas. Digital Soldier. Peace out.